So it is the morning after I came back from my hike, and I'm going to be going through my backpack and all my stuff I brought with me just to kind of see what worked, what didn't, where I need to make some changes and improvements and stuff. And I thought I would just take a little video of it, and maybe it'll help someone else who's thinking about doing something like this. So, in no particular order, these are the shoes I hiked in. These are Ultra Temps, which are one of Ultra's trail running shoes. They took a serious beating, but they did great. They still got lots of tread left on them. They were not brand new when I started. Excuse me. I had worn them for several little short hikes here in Florida before I took off with these. I thought they worked out great. They've got a lot of extra rubber or whatever this is around the toe to protect you from, stubbing your toes on rocks and stuff. My toes did kind of take a beating. I don't know if maybe I need to lace them differently or what. I don't know if there's any shoe that would keep you completely protected, but I was pretty happy with these actually. I'm thinking about upgrading to the Ultra Olympus, which has a lot more cushion because I definitely felt those rocks under my feet. And I've heard the Olympus is quite a bit more cushiony. So anyway, but for the little bit of hiking we did, well, it didn't seem like a little bit. It felt like a lot. But anyway, they worked great. These are my trekking poles. I've got them adjusted all the way to the shortest length just to travel with them. These are just the Trail Buddy brand on Amazon. They worked absolutely fantastic. I've used them several times before this hike. They're not lightweight or anything like that. They're, I think, like $35, $40, or you can spend way more than that on trekking poles. I love the cork handle. I had no issues at all with these. I mean, they are beat up. I think they sell them in different colors. I don't know if I'll upgrade or not. I don't really feel the need to. If I was doing a much longer hike, I might want something more lightweight, but they worked great. And one of the little tricks they tell you is to wrap duct tape around your trekking poles, to bring that with you for all different kinds of things, tent repairs, sleeping pad repairs. You can even wrap your foot or your wrist or whatever if in an emergency. Anyway, duct tape's just awesome to have. So I had a little bit of pink and a little bit of gray on there. Plus, they were easy to tell they were mine because I was the only one that had two different colors of duct tape. But anyway, they extend out and all that stuff. So these, no complaints whatsoever. I'll keep using those until they bust or whatever. These I brought with me. I did not use them. Heather's dad resupplied us a couple of times. So we would just bring extra food, supplies, clothes, whatever we needed. We had it all marked in his car, and then we would have him meet us every few days to resupply us rather than going into town to buy food, since we brought it all with us, and they happened to live right nearby the trail. So that was awesome. I brought these just in case I didn't like my shoes. These are my Ultra Lone Peak trail boots. Super duper comfortable, but I did not want to rely on boots for ankle support. I hear that that's just not the best way to go. You just need to strengthen your ankles. So anyway, brought them, didn't need them. So this is a Mountain Hardwear fleece. This ended up being probably one of the most versatile, awesome things that I brought. It got really, really cold. I hiked in it. I slept in it. I wore it around camp. It was absolutely perfect. Yeah, I couldn't ask for more out of a piece of clothing. And Mountain Hardwear is a fantastic brand. I think I actually bought this used. I didn't pay much for it at all. They're not cheap. That brand is not cheap at all, but it's free dog here. Well worth the money. I absolutely love this thing. I was surprised at how often I actually ended up. I wore it pretty much all the time. So yeah, that will always go with me now when I hike. Now this right here, this is the brain of my backpack, and it actually, let me show you. It actually sits on top of your backpack. You can, of course, use your pack without it. This is still my pack right here. And it sits on top like this, and it attaches with 4 clips. And this ended up being an amazing thing for me, because what I did was each day I would divvy out my food and snacks for the day, and I would put everything that I needed for that day in my brain, because that way I didn't have to go rifling through my bear can several times a day, because that thing's not easy to open, and it's just usually hard to get to. And it's if you're just taking a break for a few minutes on the side of the trail and you want to sit down, take your pack off and eat a Slim Jim or a protein bar or whatever, you don't want to go digging through all your stuff to do that. So I kept everything for the day in this brain. Let me show you what's in here. And this is a bunch of leftover stuff too. This is all of my leftover food and snacks from the trip, but we ended 3 days early, so there's a lot here that wouldn't have been here if we would have continued. So I don't feel like this was a bad thing that I ended up with a bunch of extra food. It just is what it is. I mean, we ended our hike 3 days early because we were done for. This is a C2 Summit Cool Grip X Mug, totally collapsible. This thing was absolutely amazing. Loved it. You can pour, I mean, this thing will handle boiling water if you want to make tea, coffee. I had grits in here a couple of times, and the outside stays cool. So super lightweight, super, portable, all that stuff. I love it. That ended up being a very surprising, awesome piece of gear too. I'll probably get their bowl too, because I decided I don't like eating out of a bag every night. So I'm probably going to get their bowl. Anyway, that's the cup. This right here, like I said, this is everything for the day of fixing food and snacks and stuff. This is my little cook kit. That's my lighter. That is my little tiny stove, and the little legs come out like this. Heather actually let me use a fuel can stabilizer with my stove, which I'll be buying one of those because that thing was awesome. But you just, let me show you. You just hook this to your fuel can. It just screws on there. This is the fuel can. This screws on, and then this is just the little valve. You turn on the gas, hit the lighter, flame pops up, and you start boiling your water. So this thing was amazing. This is an MSR Pocket Rocket. Got it at REI. Wonderful piece of gear. This is just a little fuel can. You can get these anywhere. That worked great. And then all of that fit inside my little titanium pot. So the fuel, well, just the fuel can did. And then there's the lid. So that's what you would put your water in to boil on your stove. And then you would pour that boiling water into your dehydrated meal or make your coffee with it or whatever. But the little handles collapse back down. They work really good. And then I just used a bandana to kind of go over my pot and then stick the fuel down inside like that. And that way it's not bouncing all around all day, making a bunch of noise and making you crazy. This is a little rubber band thingy that Heather gave me. I forget what it's made. It's like a silicone kind of thing, but it kind of holds all that stuff together. The pot, the stove, the lighter, all that stuff. So yeah, that stuff is amazing. Definitely amazing. And I think, oh, and the only other thing in here besides food is my little cozy. And this is, once you heat up your water, here, I'll show you one. Let's say you're going to eat this Mountain House meal, which is a dehydrated meal. You can get them at Walmart. You can get them anywhere. So you tear the top off of this, you pour your boiling water into it, and then you put the whole thing into this cozy. It has like a little Velcro thing, just a little bag. You put your meal in there with the hot water, and then you Velcro it shut and you let it sit for like 10 to 15 minutes to rehydrate before you can eat it. So this just keeps it hot longer, helps it rehydrate faster, saves on your fuel. And also this thing ended up being a wonderful plate to be sitting around if you're taking a break and like say you wanted to make a peanut butter tortilla or something, you could just lay this on your lap, lay your tortilla on there, squirt the peanut butter and stuff, and roll it up. So it ended up being a little plate for me, or a little surface to put things on where you didn't have to lay them in the dirt, you know. I think that's all that's in here right now, but like I said, I would just divvy all of my food and snacks out for each day into my brain of my pack, and then I knew where everything was for the entire day. So when you're tired, it's the end of the day, you're getting into camp, you don't have to go rifling through your bear bag to figure out what you want. Like I had all my food for the day in this brain. And I know some packs, some backpacks come with a brain that it can be converted into a fanny pack. This thing is huge. I would never wear it as a fanny pack, but that's a cool idea too. I actually wore a separate fanny pack. Oh, I don't think I brought that in here. Anyway, that thing's awesome. And then in the actual backpack, inside pockets, of course, you got your smart water bottles. I carried 2 of these, of the 1 liter size. Oh, there goes my pack. And also 1 squirt bottle size, like a sports cap size, and this one was like, I think 0.75 liter, 23.7 ounces. So the 2 big bottles I would carry just my water in that I had collected and filtered for the day, and then in this one I would put either like electrolyte powder or some kind of drink mix in it, and I had this in my shoulder strap pouch of my backpack, which I'll show you right here. This little thing right here, this little black thing hanging here, that is where I kept my water to drink while I was actually hiking. And I bought a piece of aquarium tubing, which sounds crazy, but I saw that some other hiker did it, and I'm like, that's genius. What did I do with it? It's down in my brain somewhere. Anyway, long piece of aquarium tubing, you just stick it down into your bottle. You keep this flap open and the tubing sticks out. So that way when you're hiking, all you do is kind of turn your head and you got your little straw right there for to be able to drink. So you don't have to pull this bottle in and out of the pouch while you're hiking. So that worked out really, really great. I will always do it that way, I think. Except for every once in a while, right where the tube sticks up, if you turn your head just the wrong way, that tube gets you right in the ear. So that's always a little bit of a surprise. The water bottle pocket I got from, I don't remember where I bought it. Anyway, it's like a super lightweight, attaches to your shoulder strap. In my hip belt pockets, I had, in the left one, I kept my glucose tabs because I am a hypoglycemic. Did not need those at all, thank goodness. In my right hip belt pocket, I kept always kept my headlamp and my little mini Swiss Army knife, which is pretty invaluable out there. It's got the little tiny pair of scissors on it and the little knife blade, which you just use countless times. Very good idea to have something like that with you and always know where it is. And I'm very like organized, I guess, and I always put things back in the same place. So I never didn't know where my knife was or my headlamp or anything that I needed. I pretty much tried to be just super diligent and organized because you can just see the size of this thing. I mean, there's just so much stuff that you're carrying and bringing with you. The last thing you want to do when you get to camp is just have to go dumping everything out and looking for things. It just makes things so much harder. Anyway, next up would be my cooler cloth. This hangs on the outside of your pack. Well, that's the way I did it anyway. And this is for women. And it's a antimicrobial little pee rag, basically. So you don't have to go squat in the woods and use toilet paper all the time. This is, you use it, you do whatever, you hang it back on your pouch to dry, and you wash it when you can. So that thing ended up being amazing. I know it sounds really, really weird, but it's one of those things that once you try it, you probably will want to buy one. And well, hopefully you already bought one if you're trying it, but once you start using it, you'll keep using it. It's awesome. And it saves having to use toilet paper all the time. Next up are these. So most folks like having a pair of camp shoes. After you've been hiking all day, your feet are sore, your toes are tender. You want a pair of shoes you can change into just to wear around camp, to set up your tent, go find water, filter water, fix your dinner, all that kind of stuff. I did change into these every night along with my camp clothes. Always had a pair of dry, clean camp clothes to change into, which was wonderful. These worked okay until the last day when we were at our cabin. I did much more walking that day because I would walk to the lodge, talk to the owner, and then go. I was walking in the other direction to go do laundry, and then I would have to go back to the lodge again because she didn't tell me the machine took quarters to do laundry. Like, it was just back and forth, lots of back and forth. These ended up giving me a really bad blister on my pinky toe. So Croc sandals, these are just not for me. I need to find something different. I wish they didn't give me a blister, but they did. So good idea, bad fit for me. Next on this outside pocket is my rain jacket. I just bought a Frog Togs, like an ultra lightweight. I actually bought the jacket and the pants. I didn't even bring the pants with me because I just didn't think I need them. And I wear real lightweight, like workout leggings to hike in, so they dry quick anyway. But this thing worked fine. I wore it a couple of times, I think, in the rain, with a baseball cap on, so the hood goes over and then just stops, at the cap. Very inexpensive. I think like $20 for the whole rain gear outfit. Of course, you can spend a lot of money on rain gear. That worked fine for me. I wouldn't be able to hike very long in it though because it doesn't breathe. So once you start hiking and you get hot, that thing comes off, whether it's still raining or not. So, and then let's see what else we got in here. Sorry if this video is really long. I may not even post it. Just kind of wanted to go through. This is a little lightweight sit pad. These are wonderful. Anytime you're taking a break and you're sitting on a hard log or sitting on the ground or whatever, you can use this to sit on. I don't know very many hikers that go without these. Loved it. Super, like, it weighs absolutely nothing. This right here, the blue one, this is a dry bag. This is my first aid and electronics. So this was first aid kit, Band-Aids, Neosporin, Advil, Benadryl, stuff like that. And then I had all my charging cords for my phone, for my watch, for my headlamp, and then a battery bank, backup battery, to charge things when you're out on trail. And this thing lasts about 3 or 4 days, I guess, charging all your stuff. I didn't get anything great. This is just some El Cheapo thing I got on Amazon. It's very heavy. It's a great concept, but this thing is too big and too heavy. I will definitely be upgrading this to a smaller, lightweight one that works just as good. I think that's about it in there. Oh, I got earplugs in there. I'll probably split this up though. First aid in one and electronics in one, because I was constantly having to dump everything out just to find one thing. So that was a little bit annoying. So it's just something I had on hand, so I used it. It was fine. Like I said, I'll probably upgrade. Well, not really upgrade, but probably split that up into 2 small little, like a ditty bag kind of things. Let's see on the other side. This is my water filter. This is a Sawyer Squeeze. I'll show you. Keep everything in a Ziploc bag because, of course, it's wet because you're always filtering water with it. But for this, this is the water filter. Just a small little thing. There's lots of different ones. Some work better than this, some don't. This worked fine for me. No intentions of upgrading that anytime soon. It was fine. So what you do is, this is what you call your dirty bag. This is 2 liters. You screw the cap on the bottom. Like this. Make sure that's on there tight. And then the top you open. It's got the little slide across little thing to. But anyway, this is where you collect your water, either from a little stream or a pipe or a puddle or whatever. You get all your water in there. You close it up. Close it up. This just slides on like that. And then your Sawyer squeeze. Fits on there like that. And then those wonderful Smart Water bottles I was telling you about are the perfect size thread for this. That's why everybody uses Smart Water bottles. There are other brands that work just as well. These are a little tippy. They don't want to stand up when you're filtering your water. So what I started doing was holding this between my feet while I have this like this, and you can attach it like that. And then this, so here's your dirty water, here's your filter, this will be your clean water. So this hangs, you can just leave it to hang, it'll do a gravity drip, or you can actually start squeezing your bag and get your water in there. So that's the way that works. And this is enough to do 2 of these bottles. Water was very scarce on the trail. We spent a good part of a day looking for water. That was a little scary. We got a little trail magic where we found gallons of water on the side of the trail, thank God. I think in the future, I would bring a 3-liter bag because I almost always ran out of water and didn't have enough. And Heather had a 3-liter bag and was always giving me water. So I need to do better with that, but I didn't know. So because I will be getting a bigger dirty bag, I will have to carry 1 extra water bottle too, because that'll give me 3 liters. So anyway, keep that in like a plastic Ziploc bag because, like I said, it's going to be wet. It's going to be kind of dirty. And then you just roll it up, and then when it gets really, really cold at night, if it's going to get around, if you think it's going to get close to freezing, you have to keep this in your sleeping bag with you because it cannot freeze. It won't work. It'll break if it freezes. So you got to keep it in your sleeping bag with you. Or if you're hiking and it's freezing or below, some people just kind of put it inside their jacket or something. So got to protect that baby. Anyway, that worked great. This is a little ditty bag full of clothing. I don't know what's left in here. Let's see this. Oh, this is my hat I wore every day. This was just an old hat I got at a race as some free swag. It's super lightweight. I know it's white, which is crazy to wear, but it worked great. I washed it a couple times too in the dryer. It worked fine. You definitely need some type of baseball cap. This is another bandana. I normally hung this on my other shoulder strap, and it would just hang there, and I used it to basically blow my nose, wipe my face, all that wonderful stuff that you kind of need to do while you're on the move. So that's what I use that for. That's just another extra bandana. A sports bra, quick dry leggings and workout shirt or whatever you have. I mean, you can use anything for that stuff. This is a pair of gloves I bought from Outdoor Research, I think it is. I love how they clip together so you won't lose them. And I had them hung over my pack one day. I wore these around camp a lot. They're nice because they're lightweight and they have the little thing on the finger where you can still, do your phone and stuff. They really were not quite warm enough though. And when they got wet, forget it. Like if you're